Alright gang, welcome back to our Skyefin Aquafarm series here in Kinlaig. It is now August, and kind of continuing on where we left off in the last episode of getting rid of the rest of the straw here from our smaller field. Today our main objectives and goals are really going to be getting the rest of the straw up. I believe... Yep, this field is ready to harvest as well. I think I'm going to probably do what we had talked about a couple episodes back, and how I said I don't know for sure if I'm going to do it anytime soon, but I think it's just time. I think I'm going to upgrade our harvester. Our harvester's fine, but it's a super slow harvester. It takes a long time to do anything. We now have, well, we're going to have, I guess I should say, 3 medium-sized fields, I guess. And it's just going to help us in the long run, right? Where we were doing before with this field over here, we really had to take 2 episodes to kind of finish that harvest, right? So ideally we have something that's a little bit faster, stores a little bit more as well, so we don't have to make as many trips. And yeah, overall probably be better for us. Now it will kind of impact the ability for us to be able to continue to save some money up to try to move to the next stage, which I mentioned, but from a time perspective, it is going to help us out tremendously, so I'm willing to take that risk right now and do that. Now, to be able to afford that, really, we're going to have to sell the harvester we currently have, plus we're going to have to sell some more. Good thing is we do have some adult trout here that are ready to sell. We also have some salmon, and we're going to have to do our normal daily occurrence here where we move the fish around to the different lakes and then go and sell the remainder of the fish, including the salmon, and then buy more fish food, right? We're going to have to do that. But we shouldn't have to buy as much as we have been buying, because most of the, well, I say most, all of them have fish food in there, right? The lakes are perfect. We can add a little bit, sure. And then the young fish breeding, and it's got 9,000 liters in there, so we shouldn't have to buy any extra today is what I'm trying to get at. We should have to just buy our normal 8, maybe 10 at the most. So it will impact a little bit of the money we make, but it's not going to be as much as last episode or episodes previously before that. And then obviously we're going to get a little bit of money back for our harvester too, so it should get us to a better spot here. Now, as far as what harvester we're going to buy, I really haven't made that decision up yet. I think it's really going to depend on how much money we get after all this is said and done. And kind of go from there, if you will. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Things are good here, man, all things considered. So we're going to get the straw up. We're going to, at that point, probably do the process of moving all the fish around. And what I'm likely going to do in that process is actually put a worker on harvesting that other field for us while we do this, just from a time saving perspective. And then once we've got all the fish sold, all the fish food bought, moved all that around like we normally would do, we'll then kind of take over for that worker. But when I say take over, what I really mean is we're going to go ahead and sell that harvester and make an upgrade at that point. So part of that field will be harvested, but it's all going to be harvested by the worker. And then the rest of it, whatever's remaining, we will do ourselves. Speaking of that, I also moved a couple flour pallets out of the way so we can make sure that that continued the process of making flour for us. Yeah, hopefully you're all doing well. Things are good, man. I'm actually starting to feel a little bit back to normal here. I mentioned before, I took a red eye back. I'm never going to be doing that again. I did one of those, I think, a long time ago. Probably 10 plus years ago, and I probably at that point said I was never going to do it again, and then I did it this time, and yeah, it's kicked my butt a little bit. I've had a hard time getting to sleep late at night. I've been tired in the middle of the day when I'm working at my real job. It's been a struggle to get back in the groove, so yeah, never ever doing that again. I'm going to put it that way. Never ever doing that again. Those of you that take red eyes all the time, I don't envy you at all. The thought was nice because it was a direct flight, but I would rather have a layover at this point than do that again. I'd rather waste a whole day in the airport than do that again. That was not fun. I'd rather take a flight on Frontier or Allegiant. I mean, sure, most of you know who Frontier is. Allegiant, I don't know. I don't know how far Allegiant goes really, but they have direct flights, Frontier and Allegiant, which are like your budget airliners, if you will, in the Ohio area, the Southern Ohio, Cincinnati area, Kentucky area, which is where I'm from. But we also have a Delta hub in Cincinnati, so we've got a lot of Delta flights. Those are really the 3 that you can choose from that have direct flights to Vegas. So we got a really good deal on the Delta flight, way better than we've ever got on Delta. Most of the time we take Frontier or Allegiant just because it's inexpensive and I don't really have tons of money to spend. But we only had to pay, I think it was $30, $40 more to take Delta. That's the reason why I think we accepted that red eye. But man, oof. If I could go back in time when we were booking that and tell myself to not do that, and I would do it. I would do it. Anyway, enough about that. So we're going to go ahead and get this hooked up to the trailer here, and then we're going to head on over to the field, where I'm going to have the actual worker harvesting. We'll drop this off over there. It's not going to obviously stay over there, but we'll drop this off over there. And then once we get the harvester over there, get it set up with the worker, then we can go ahead and get started on moving all the fish around, selling them, etc. Doing all the stuff we have to do. Do the needed, if you will, for all that stuff. So real quick, if you happen to be watching this and have yet to hit the subscribe button, all right, now I'm going to ask you to consider doing that for me. It's free. It helps me a ton. Hit the like button as well if you haven't done that. Much appreciated. We are very close to 10,000 subscribers, which is absolute insanity. But we are very close. I would love to get the 10,000 subscribers by the end of February. That would be wonderful. We're a little over 200 away. So if you happen to be one of those individuals who is not subscribed yet, help me out. Hit that subscribe button for me. Give me the 10,000. I've got a pretty decent plan, I think, for kind of a 10,000 subscriber special challenge, if you will, that is going to be open to anybody and everybody. A one-off challenge. It's not going to be like a series, just a one-off video challenge. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully it works out as I'm hoping. Right? You know, and what I mean by that is hopefully it actually pans out to be as fun as I'm expecting it to be. Hopefully it's not a bust, but nonetheless, it is something I've been working on. Well, that was a great turn, Z. Something I've been working on, so hopefully we can get there, and if you haven't, you're one of the reasons you could help me get there. Time this recording a little bit later today. We'll be doing the recording for the competitive one-tile challenge. My friends Rusty Money Gaming and Crustio, I've been a little behind. I think I got to everybody's comment now at this point. I think both on my Discord and any comments on any videos that were out there. I think I've got everyone at least hit from the first reply. Not sure I've got all the second replies done because a lot of times YouTube doesn't even notify me of that. But at least got the first ones, I think, of everyone done. So hopefully I should be, for the most part, caught up, except for maybe, yesterday's video or whatever. But any of the older videos from the last week plus, I should be caught up on now. And those of you that did, put a comment and didn't get a reply for quite a while, I apologize. It was obviously in Vegas. I really didn't have as much time as I actually anticipated. I think it's mostly because, well, my wife was there with me, and second, that we had some friends there with us as well. So, normally in the morning, when I wake up in Vegas, I might just lounge around, be lazy for a little while, and whenever that happens, I can normally get some replies done. That really wasn't the case this time. They were go, go, go the whole time, so... Anyway, there goes the train for the, third time already. It's crazy how fast this train comes around, how often the train comes around, I guess I should say. We've talked about this early on. I don't think there's a way to get rid of any of that stuff. I would love to be able to get rid of some of that stuff, because I feel like you can make a pretty cool series starting out here. With the horse here and the little buggy and everything. I think it'd be there could be a cool story that could be made, kind of a roleplay type of story that could be made there. But I don't think the actual map itself allows you to remove a whole lot, which is a little unfortunate. Alright, did I put the tractor too far ahead? I might have. No, I could squeeze through there. I could squeeze through there. Alright, more straw. More straw to take care of, but that's okay. We can obviously pick that straw up in the next episode. Doesn't have to be today. Alright, we are dropping straw, which is what we wanted. Turn the worker on. You know what? I'm going to have the worker do 3 headland passes here. Just to make sure they don't do any kind of issues when they're turning and all that stuff. So we'll go ahead and put the worker on there. Kind of want the worker to drive here for a minute. So I'd like to drop the trailer off over here on the edge, if you will. Oh, this might not have been the smartest idea. I probably should have backed it in instead of doing it this way. That's alright. We'll see if it'll let me drive through it. It does. I knew it would, because we did it in the past, but... Anyway. Alright, so... We now need to go and do the normal stuff we've been doing, as I talked about, right? Do all the fish stuff. Stuff that happens every single time we do an episode. We need to do all of that. It's going to take us a little bit of time to do that, so I think the best way to go about doing that right now is to throw in a bit of a time-lapse and get that knocked out. Hopefully, this is fingers crossed here, after buying more fish food, hopefully, I would be ecstatic if we're close to 100,000. I really would, even after the fish food is purchased. If we're somewhere around that $100,000 mark, I'll be extremely happy. That will put us in a really, really good spot for being able to buy a harvester and still have a little bit of money left over, right? We're going to need a little bit of money left over because every month we do incur, you know, fees and things like that for the land and the equipment, etc. So, maintenance stuff. So even though we don't have a loan, we do still incur that. So we do need to have a little bit of money every single month to continue on here. But nonetheless, let's head down to the Aquafarm first of all. Let's get all that stuff loaded up on the trailer. Bring it up here to the lakes, and then load up the adult trout, and then kind of go off and sell them like we have been doing. And I guess first thing I should look at, actually, now that we're here, is making sure the adult trout are going to the same location or not. They kind of fluctuate around often, right? Now, hopefully soon enough, I've also mentioned that, you know, maybe we won't have to go and sell them all the time, because they do fluctuate about $1,000, a little less than that, but still. They do fluctuate, right? So if we can find seaside restaurant is cheap, is more, you get more for at the seaside restaurant. I know everyone says the fish market, you get a bonus with the fish market, so it's better to go to the fish market. Where's the seaside restaurant? I don't remember. Oh yeah, we've been there. We've been there. Okay. Well, we're going to go to the fish market. I'm going to do a quick autosave, and I will see you on the other side of this time-lapse. So I was on my way to go sell this stuff. I'm pretty sure I forgot to pick up a couple of the pallets of fish. I'm almost positive I forgot to pick these up. I did. Oh boy. Well, I told you I'm a little rusty, gang. I know it's been, well, I did one episode, I guess, before this, but, you know, I'm still a little rusty, gang. I apologize, but we'll get back there in the groove, I assure you. It's just a bit of a hiccup there, but that's all right. We'll head back there, pick those up quickly, and then I will see you at the shop. It looks like the harvester's probably going to be done unloading as well by the time I go back here and come back, so I'll get the worker set back off once again, going around the headland there. Looks like they, on the second, when I set the worker off on the second time, I didn't expect them to do it, but it looks like they went down the second pass, even though the first full headland pass had not been completed yet. So I'll maybe send the worker going the other way. That way we can actually accomplish that side as well. Give us a little more space to drive through as well, if you will. So a bit of a mistake there, a little bit of a hiccup. I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect right now when I'm still jet lagged and my time's all screwed up, right? So not trying to make an excuse, but it is a bit of an excuse, I guess, the way you look at it. So we'll get back in the groove soon enough, I assure you. All right, I will see you at the sell point. All right, we're pulling up here. Scarlett pulled a little brake check on me on the way here, so that was wonderful. But anyway, we're pulling up here. I'm driving way past where we're supposed to go there. So we're just gonna sell it here. You know, it's a similar price. It's fine. We're gonna sell it here. Perfect. $44,198 plus $575 environmental score reward, which is awesome. It puts us at $108,000. I think we're going to be close to where I want to be at. I said I wanted to be around $100,000 by the time we are done purchasing the remainder of the fish food that we need to buy. And we are 100% going to be at that point. We have $132,915. It's about $21,000 for the normal 8 pallets that we like to buy of the fish food. So we're going to be well over 100, as a matter of fact. We're going to be about 110,000. It's going to be great. Workers full again. That's the biggest problem with that harvester, as well, as if I ever get to a point, and we're starting to get close to that. Well, obviously, I just used it in this episode for the first time. But if we get to a point where we have to use the worker more often than we are currently, it's going to be difficult with that harvester when it's full every 10 seconds. You know, a little difficult to have a worker, you know, actually accomplish some stuff and actually, you know, utilize your money to the best, to its fullest, if we have to constantly be going back there to move the worker around, right? So what we're going to do is and the worker once again went right up the gut here, which is not what we're looking for, but whatever. I'm just going to back it up, and then we're going to drop that trailer off, I think. Pick up some fish food. Bring that back here. We'll just kind of leave the trailer off to the side of the road here, and then we'll go ahead and pick up the trailer here and move that over here to help accomplish our goal here of getting this empty, and then we can go sell this and hopefully get a bigger one, right? But since we're going to be bringing this back anyway, we might as well go to the shop now and take care of, you know, at least a chunk of that right now. Drive, Walter, drive. You dick. Oh, man. Anyway, so we've got about $100,000, let's put it that way, about $100,000 by the time everything's said and done, plus whatever money we make from that harvester that we're going to sell, which, as a matter of fact, I don't even remember how much it's actually worth here. We should take a look at that. So that'll be about 5. This will be probably about 12. So about 16. I'm just going to say 16 to be safe. 16,000 extra dollars. So we're going to have somewhere in the range of 126. Ideally, I would not like to utilize all 126. I think I'd be more comfortable somewhere in the 70 to 80,000 range. It's probably going to be one that we buy often, the harvester-wise at least. I guess it might not be, but more than likely it will be. Let's see. There's a baler here, which is pretty nice. There's another tractor we could get. It's a very, small tractor, not a bunch of horsepower, so it probably wouldn't be that useful to us, unfortunately. I was hoping there'd be a harvester out there. There's not. So really, the one we have is this one right here, right? Really, I tend to buy this Colossus a lot, but it's just the Dominator. It's such a good one. I would love to get a different one than that. I could go with the TARDIS here. It's super expensive, but I could go with that. It also has the option for unrealistic capacities, right? Super unrealistic capacity. I don't think I want to go that approach. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't. 5,000, what is this? 1.9. Yeah, I mean, it's either... Man, this one holds more than this one does. Oh, no, it doesn't. Almost. Yeah, as much as, you know, I utilize this one a lot, it's just the best deal, man. It's the best price. It's the best deal. So 70 grand. That puts us in a really comfortable spot as well. Well, we own it now. There's no going back now. We got it. The width itself is not going to make a huge increase. It's not going to make a huge difference, but the speed of it will, because I think this one is 4.2. This is like 5.1 or something. Oh. Yeah, 5.1. So it's not like it's a huge increase on the width of us being able to harvest, but speed-wise, capacity-wise, these are all extremely, extremely helpful things for us, right? Extremely helpful things. So... I'm just going to get this out of the way. Because we're going to be taking this up there in just a second. Now, I probably guess I could put it on a worker. But since I'm not buying the header trailer for it, maybe I should. But since I'm not buying the header trailer for it, I'm just going to drag this one up here myself. So we need to buy the food here, and then we can get all of this taken care of. Yeah, so 20,800. Puts us at 33. By the time we sell that harvester and header, we'll be back closer to 50,000, which will be good. That's a pretty comfortable spot to be in my opinion. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's get to work here. I've got a lot more to do here. Obviously, that time lapse was shorter than I wanted it to be because of my little screw up there. But, you know, it is what it is. We got to sort it out. It's not a big deal. It just made my job a little bit longer for this episode. But we got to sort it out. So let's just get the rest of this done. And all the things I talked about, right? Taking this up here, dropping it off, get the other one unloaded, come bring it down here, sell it, bring the other harvester back up to the field, get the worker back going on that. We can go and unload all of the food here where we need to do. And then once we're done with all that, we'll jump into the harvester and kind of finish up that field. Hopefully today. If we don't finish it up today, we can always do it, I guess, in the next episode here in August. We can do a second episode in August, but hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully we'll get it all done today. I suspect that we will be able to get it all done today, but I guess we'll find out as we move along here, right? All right, I will be back with you on the other side of the time lapse. All right, we're full here in the trailer, so we're going to go dump this off here, and then I've got the worker continuing the harvest there. We're going to clean that up here in just a minute. It's not going to take too much longer to finish that. As I expected, it was a lot easier utilizing that harvester versus what we were using before. The turning, everything's just better. It's just overall a much faster process. So for me and for my sanity, it was 100% worth the upgrade, knowing that it might slightly delay us a little bit in regard to what we're trying to accomplish here, right? And perfect. So we'll go ahead and head on back here. We're going to finish up that harvest. It should be pretty close to being done by the time we get there. Also, we need to go sell the remainder of that other harvester. I kind of pulled it up into the location. Didn't sell it yet. I figured I would just do that with all of you on camera. More than likely, when we're unloading that harvester in here into the trailer, we can go ahead and do that selling. Kind of kill two birds with one stone, if you will. I talked about it a while ago, and I wish, and from what I can tell, there's not, but I wish there was a way. Obviously, we can drive through like the hedge stuff, but from what I can tell, there's not a way to remove these, even if you own the land. I might be incorrect in that statement, but I swear I tested that a while ago. I really wish there was that ability to do so. Obviously, we're not going to have enough money to own this land for a long, long time anyway, but I would love just to build a bit of a shortcut through there to our field, right? And like I said, maybe the goal here, maybe the objective should be for us to try to purchase Field 10, because then we can build a bit of a shortcut, right? We can, where the entryway is for Field 10, it's right here. We can just kind of cut to the left and make a bit of a track right there that runs to our field, so I don't have to go all the way around like this every time. Now, it's not that big of a deal to do it, but from a time-saving perspective, and as we continue to get more and more things that we have to accomplish, more and more fields, I do think it would be a good thing for us to be able to have that bit of that shortcut just to save a few minutes, right? A few minutes of time. Time is money, man. Time is money in this game. 100%, just like in real life, too, if you will. All right, we're going to take the worker off this. There's only probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 more passes here, and we'll be done. But we're also almost full here, so what I'm more than likely going to do is when we get up here to the top, I'm just going to go ahead and unload directly into the trailer at this point, and then we can go sell the old harvester and make a little bit of our money back. One thing I did not look at, yeah, there's enough fish food in there. We could have definitely got some more. We probably should have, so we could have this maxed out, but that's enough. It should be somewhere around the same, maybe a little bit less than what we had for this month, and next month we won't have as much to do in regard to things on the farm anyway, right? So we'll probably be spending a lot more of the money that we make off these fish for more fish food anyway at that point. So, hell, maybe we'll figure something out with the straw as well. I know a couple of you mentioned there's not a ton really with the straw that you can do right now, pellets and maybe the heating that I was talking about, but there's not a lot. And you're right, there's not. There hasn't actually been a ton of things mod hub wise that you can utilize the straw for. There is something that's in the back of my mind. I'm not positive if I'm going to utilize it here or if I utilize it in the competitive one-tile challenge. I guess I can use it in both. I guess it doesn't really matter, but there is something else that's in the back of my mind. I'm not going to say what that is yet, but there's another option, I guess is how I should put it. All right, so let's get here. I forget where the trigger point is here. I guess I should have. I forget where it is. I'm going to have to turn it on. Wasn't it here? Yeah. Where's the trigger for it though? Oh, I think the actual harvester's right on it, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is, at least. Yeah, it is. It's in a weird spot, and it's something I just don't ever think about, I guess. I feel like I have to drive it in there, but I really don't. Okay, so we'll repair that. We're going to repaint that, and that's going to give us $5,322. We will take it, and then we'll repair this and repaint this as well for $13,130. Not bad, gang. Not bad. Like I said, just slightly below 50 grand. I'm very, very happy with that. And in the process, we got one hell of a good machine out of it, right? One hell of a good machine. plenty of money for us to continue on doing what we're doing here. Not enough to buy a field, but plenty of money that we don't have to worry about any kind of fees or anything like that, right? Pretty much around the same amount of money that we started with today. Obviously, we had like 60,000, but still, it's pretty close, right? It's pretty close. If we sold all the flour that we've made so far over this time period, or if certainly the straw, if nothing else, we probably would be at 60,000 again. And we got a lot of straw in this field that we're going to have to pick up in the next episode too, right? This is a lot of straw. It's a lot. It's going to take us quite a few trips, I think. This might be a situation where instead of actually going and storing this portion of the straw, we might just go sell this one outright. As we mentioned, or as we did in the past, there is the animal dealer right down the bottom of the hill there behind those trees. There is the animal dealer. So we may just go sell that straw directly to the animal dealer there. That's going to be a faster trip than taking it all the way to our silage pole there, our storage pole for the straw in this case. Granted, you know, maybe we could make a little bit more money if we did put it in our pole versus going and just selling it outright, but you know, it's okay. I'm okay with it. Now we are getting a pretty good yield out of this. I'm pretty happy with the yield we're getting, as a matter of fact. It's a lot. It's a lot. Still have a little bit of room there for the wheat, which is good, so we shouldn't have any issues there as far as, you know, putting more wheat into our production. But if we do, we can always just go drop it into the silo. And it is doing a pretty good job there of making flour. It actually looks like it has been maxed out, so we need to move some more of those pallets so we can continue that process, because that process right now is not working. There's just no room. So we need to make sure we do that here today as well. So a couple comments when I was out for a little while. I mentioned I was out in Vegas for a little while. A lot of people were maybe just now starting to watch this series. They all still agree that this is the best map Giants has ever made. I do. I 100% agree with that. Cannot disagree with that whatsoever. I think I've said that a couple of times, especially early on. I know I did. It is the best looking map they've ever made. It makes me want to constantly have a series running on it because I enjoy it so much. And really, as it currently stands right now, granted, we've done a couple of contracts on different areas of the map, but really, we've been kind of secluded, focused on, you know, one little area. I guess you could say two if you count the sell points, you know, in the city and things like that. But as far as the fields and everything go, I mean, we've really just been kind of in this, you know, area, this quadrant, if you will. We haven't really spent a whole lot of time over in this region at all. Not a ton either up there. Contract-wise, sure, but, you know, those are just kind of one-off things here and there. And we're getting pretty close to this point where contracts are going to be far and few between. There already are, really. But when winter comes, we'll probably have some contracts we need to do. But soon enough, contracts are not going to be, they're going to be a thing of the past. We're not even going to be considering contracts anymore. Anyway, let's go ahead and unload this. And we might actually have to bring... I think we... Ooh, it's going to be close. So I was going to say, I think we might actually make the trailer full, but it's going to be close. I think we're going to be able to get it all in there. But only just. Only just indeed. 98% full. That's awesome. That made short work of this field, man. I'm so happy with that purchase. Very much so. That is fantastic. All right, let's take this back to the yard. All right, let's unload this. And while it's unloading, I'm probably going to go ahead and just by hand move some of those pallets out of the way, too. We want to make sure that this production continues to operate, and it not operating is definitely not going to be a good thing for us. We want it to operate because when it becomes time to sell this flour, we want to give as much flour as possible. We want to make as much money as we humanly possibly can, because that is going to be our big game changer for the series. When it's time to sell all this flour, that's going to make us a lot of money. A lot of money. It's probably going to get us close to being able to get another field. Maybe I could even argue it might get us close enough to buy the fish food production. which is the next big step on this series. If you don't know, for whatever reason, if you just stumbled across this and you're not sure exactly what we're doing, everything's down below in the description, but long story short, the goal here is for us to be able to be self-sufficient when it comes to fish productions. So in other words, for the fish food that I keep buying, that I bought in this episode, I have to make all of that with our own products. Can't go out and buy it straight from the shop. I have to actually own the fish food production that's on the map, can't put my own down, and I have to be able to be supporting that fish food production with our own stuff. Flour is part of it, so we already have one of the stages complete, if you will. But yeah, that's the next big obstacle for us, and it's not cheap. It is not a cheap thing. I think it's $250,000, I think is what it was. $270,000, excuse me. So to buy that factory is $270,000. It's not cheap at all. So we need all the money we can get, I guess is how I should put it. All the money we can get is a really good thing for us. As much money as humanly possible. But anyway, with that, we are going to leave the episode at this point, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like and subscribe button on the case you have yet to do so. Like I mentioned, look out for, hopefully in the next month or two, hopefully we hit 10,000 subscribers. I will have a 10,000 subscriber mini challenge, one episode, one-off challenge that I hope you and anyone else that would like to partakes in. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So if you're not subscribed for some reason, help me get there. It'll be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my members. Cannot thank them enough. And we'll see you in the next episode.